We're back at it again with some Isekai. And if you're tired of rewatching That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime or are still waiting for No Game No Life Season 2, then you should try to take a look at the top upcoming Isekai anime of 2024 to 2025. From an old man becoming a pretty girl to a third season of seeing Subaru die, well, here are the best Isekai you should watch out for. Number 10. The Old Man Reincarnated as a Villainess. Starting off our list is one of the weirdest titles I have ever come across as of now. Do not fall in love with this lady because she's quite literally older than your parents. He was 52 years old with a hairline that was so high it put Mount Everest to shame. Since he got reincarnated as a villainess, he doesn't become a bratty princess and ends up being friends with the heroine. Japanese people just have that inborn manners, and bro is showing it off in another world. I mean, what else could I possibly say about this? It's just such a weird premise. Of course, he got teleported by Truck-kun, but I mean, he's rocking those Goldilocks hair like a Chad. I don't know, man. Just by watching the trailer, I didn't expect it to have some amazing animation, but one thing I do want to point out is that the uncle has that dummy mommy voice, and I know a lot of you are gonna just say smash already, even though you know he was an old man. I mean, you wouldn't even know. And I bet this is just gonna be like Uncle from Another World, only that he can't fumble the harem because he's not a girl. Number 9. The Red Ranger becomes an adventurer in another world. I have a serious question. What is going on in the isekai genre? Are they so out of ideas that they're just going to reincarnate anyone into another world? First, there was that 52-year-old dude, and now we have a literal Power Ranger. How does any of this even make sense? Anyway, Asaki gave up his life during the final battle against the exterminators, and in the other world, he becomes an adventurer called the Kizuna Red. And just like that, he still becomes a hero. This is where we get an answer to the question all Power Ranger fans have been asking and dreaming about. What happens when a Power Ranger fights fantasy creatures? Maybe that's just me. But don't move on to the next anime just yet, because this is looking surprisingly good. From the little they've showed in the trailer, the animation actually looks decent. And they did that Power Ranger pose at the explosion from behind. I mean, everything the Power Rangers do always has explosions in the background, so I'm not surprised. And also, the main girl is blessed. If that doesn't convince you, I don't know what will. Number 8. I'll become a villainess that will go down in history. And if you thought there were already too many villainess Yuri anime out there, well, don't worry, because I got another one for you. Meet Alicia. And surprisingly, her hair is not blonde. We all know she's a character from an Otome game from the way she looks, not because she's from a family that's known for dark magic and lives in a fantasy world. Duh. I can assure you that it was the black hair. Anyway, there's a woman who likes her so much that Truck-kun grants her wish and forces her to isekai as a young Alicia. Truck-kun's on a kill streak this year. Come on, give this guy a break, please. Now the rest sounds pretty cliche and common. She knows the game and uses it to her advantage, blah, 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 blah. But, what's pretty cool is that she doesn't try to avoid her fate like the other villainous stories. She actually acts like one, and it's quite refreshing to see. We can't say for sure if it stays generic or not, but, well, the main guy's last name is Seeker, and his first name is Duke, so can't say I'm too optimistic, but hey, you know, maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong before. I've been wrong a lot. Number 7. Demon Lord Retry. I don't know what the hell Retry is pointing out to in the title, nor do I intend to. What's even more interesting is that before Akira became the Demon Lord in a game, he was actually the one who created the MMORPG itself. And what did he call the game? Infinity Game. No, I'm not joking. If there was a contest for bad names, he would come second because it's so bad that judges would refuse to put him in first. Anyway, he saves a little girl, and since he doesn't know what happened, he goes on a journey to unravel the mystery and maybe find a way home in the process. Not gonna lie, the girl here looks like Rem and Ram's third lost twin. She's just, you know, blonde. And of course, it's not an isekai without a harem. And the Demon Lord's voice is so good. It's the GOAT, our beloved boy, Kenjiro Suda, back at it again, and his voice just hits different. Alright, enough simping. Overall, the anime looks pretty solid. The MC is somewhat likable, and it's bound to become something like Auretta or Misfit of the Demon King. Number 6. Magic Maker. Isekai Maho no Tsukurikara. If they do this one right, it has the biggest chance to become a banger, like Mushoku Tensei and Slime. And I'm not over-exaggerating. You see, in this world where our boy was transported in, there is no magic. Imagine that. an isekai world with no magic. And clearly this guy is disappointed as hell, so what does he do? He said, "Aight, bet," and then started working on creating magic himself. If life doesn't give you magic, go make it. Because he's doing such a great job, he eventually becomes a hero. And not gonna lie, that plot synopsis is one of the best I've ever seen. I mean, this series doesn't even have a trailer yet, and I'm already insanely hyped for it. Not only that, I think they're gonna base it on the light novel because the manga instantly got axed with just 3 volumes. And if you know isekai, the more light novel-y they are, the better it gets. Just give it to the studio that made Freerun, and it's gonna blow our minds away. Hey, just taking a moment to ask you guys to maybe give this video a like and subscribe to the channel while you're at it. Thanks. You're the best. Number 5. Lonely Attack on the Different World. This is what would have happened if Hajime from Auretta didn't have the guts to survive. Haruka was transported to another world with his class, and just like Hajime with the same concept, he's the weakest of them. But it turns out that he's actually OP. It's just that he was using his powers wrong. Yeah, blah, 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 you kind of get the gist of it, and it's probably pretty obvious that the plot isn't the highlight of this anime, but instead it's the laughs and giggles, or you know, maybe it's the friends we made along the way. Who knows? What makes it even funnier is our guy chooses the loner life. It didn't choose him, and even with that lifestyle, bro's still getting the girls. Just look at the cover. The girls are chasing him. There might be 2 reasons for that. First, he's an absolute specimen of a man, or second, it probably just stole their panties or something. And I know the show is just going to be all over the place because the main girl is literally named Class Rep. Then there's Nerd A, Volleyball Girl B, Gymnastics Girl, Nudist Girl, Gal D, and so on. They didn't even try with the names, and honestly, it's charming. Number 4. Headhunted to Another World. You know, I don't know what it is with Japanese salaryman getting isekai'd and just becoming someone super important, but I gotta go get a job there, ASAP. Just look at our boy, Uchimara. He was just a corporate slave in our world, but when he was teleported into a world dominated by the Demon King, bro instantly got promoted to be one of the 4 heavenly kings. And guess what he does? Magic? No. Is he super strong? No. Is he a genius? Not at all. All he does is use his office working skills, and he's good enough. This is going to be one of those shows that doesn't take itself seriously because it already knows what it is. I mean, the girl looks like the most mascot for Crunchyroll character ever, and the Demon King resembles Shredder from the Ninja Turtles. So to be honest, I'm looking forward to watching it because I think it's going to be better than those generic try-hard isekais that we've always seen every season. Number 3. Someday, will I be the greatest alchemist? This anime asked me a question like I know the answer, but do I? Anyway, Aruma here isn't a hero nor a human attending demon school. He just accidentally got teleported to another world with a bunch of heroes. And I admit the goddess here are kind of fair because they do give him payment or he can choose one skill because he got mixed up in this nonsense, but come on! This is isekai we're talking about, and no way is the author just gonna give him an easy life. Turns out he chose the most OP skill, of course, that can create absolutely anything. I mean, if I had that skill, I'd just create more and more money until I could build a kingdom of my own, but, you know, plot else aside, even though the trailer had a low-budget My Hero Academia smash sequence, it looks pretty decent. The art style and animation look nice, and at least the guy's smart because he did use his powers to become rich. And of course, you gotta have the harem. An isekai anime without a harem is like having a burger without the sauce. Number 2. Auretta Season 3. Now we're on to the big boys! And you might be surprised that we already talked about this anime a while ago, and it's none other than Auretta Season 3. To be honest, I'll just give you a synopsis of how Season 1 went down because I don't want to spoil some of you. I know, I'm such a great guy. So basically, Hajime was teleported with his class to another world. But he was betrayed, yet with his powers he ended up becoming OP and went on to get a bunny girl and a vampire girl at the same time. Now, Season 3 comes along with a slick-ass poster, and they had no right to go this hard. The animation mostly stays the same, though, and there are some parts where it looks a lot better than Season 1, especially the jiggle physics. In the trailer, I also spotted Power Ranger helms. Like, how did that end up there, and why do they need it? Why do I need it? Maybe they're the ones who gave the author the idea of the Red Ranger becomes an adventurer in another world. Who knows? I want to know. Number 1. ReZero Season 3. And last but not least, we have quite literally what is known as the GOAT of Isekai. ReZero. And it's coming back with a third season out of nowhere. Just like Auretta, I'm only gonna talk about the first season. Basically, Subaru got teleported to another world, and instead of getting OP powers like being able to create anything, he just goes back in time whenever he dies. And it's not that he doesn't feel pain, he feels it real good. And the way he dies is so horrible and painful to watch. I mean, he just gets mauled by man-eating rabbits like it was another Wednesday. Can't even imagine. This man has so much trauma that he puts our entire generation to shame. Still though, the series is peak and I cannot wait to know more of the plot in season 3. Just the amount of good writing here is insane, and watching the preview made me scared. Like, literally scared of what was about to come. I just hope that one day they give this man a break. It's so disturbing to see him suffer again and again and again. And there you have it, the top 10 upcoming isekai of 2024 and 2025. As usual, you can subscribe, like the video, and even comment down below what video you guys want to see next. Help Papa Honest out so I can make better videos for you guys. See you in the next one.